So Facebook has just released something very interesting, very quietly to the general public, and that is way more information about the attribution of your ads and whether you're making sales on a longer basis than it has in the past. This is extremely important and very interesting to dig into, so that's what we're going to do today. So firstly, the background to this. Facebook used to have as standard 28-day click attribution available. So you were able to see whether a customer who clicked on one of your ads up to 28 days later then went and made a purchase. And this was important because, of course, if someone clicks on your ad 28 days later, they make a purchase, maybe there's less likelihood that it's connected to the original ad that they made that purchase, but it's still important to know that they discovered you through Facebook 28 days ago because of one of those clicks. For example, in many different types of products we might work with to sell with my agency, Snowball Creations, as a really great example, we work with this gym brand. So they were selling items that were thousands of pounds for home gym equipment. So it was a big purchase, so people took their time about it. So people would often discover the brand and then many weeks later they'd go ahead and purchase. So within Facebook, what we saw was literally nothing on 7-day attribution. We saw no conversions. We went into their Shopify though and looked into the data within Google Analytics, etc., and we saw tens of thousands of pounds worth of sales coming through every single week. So basically, if you have a product or offering in general which has a long sales cycle, you will see only a small fraction of the sales that Facebook is delivering through the Facebook system. Facebook does exaggerate a little bit the views, I think, in terms of the view through purchases, which we can see here, which is also interesting, but it doesn't give enough value to the longer term conversions that you get from running your Facebook ads. And if you don't see those, you'll decide that it is not working for you and you'll switch them off. So this is bad news. And they got rid of it, the 28-day click version, because of all of this privacy stuff, which has just kind of made Facebook a much harder place to be. But we found ways around that with third-party tracking, etc. But now Facebook has actually brought this back. So let's go over to my screen, and I've got a couple examples of this. So if you've got a Facebook account right now, this generally is in most cases, they do test it on certain percentages of the audience, so you might not see it. But if you come in and hit into your campaign manager and then columns, you can then do compare attribution settings, and then you can select which you want to look at. So generally speaking, you might be likely doing 7-day click with a 1-day view, and so that's what you've been seeing when you're looking at, say, your purchases. But now we're able to come in here, and you can do all sorts of other fancy stuff, but we're going to just focus on this for today. We can look at all of them. So I'm going to hit all 5. And then in this particular account, you can now see that it says total 16 here. But what that is the 1-day view plus up to the 7-day. So 13 plus 3 is 16. So that's 16 purchases. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right here too. So 7 plus 4 is 11. There you go. So what we've only seen up until now is the 7-day click with the 1-day view or whatever you've set. But now we're able to see the 28-day click again. Fuck yes, this is such good news in my eyes, assuming it stays. So I actually know that they did this about 7 months ago, briefly for some campaigns and some accounts, and then they took it away again. So I'm hoping this quietly stays this time, because it's really great data. You can see, for example, this top of funnel. Maybe we had decided that 54 purchases was okay, but not quite good enough. But actually, we got another 5 more purchases if we're considering the 28-day view. Like if we come over to the, what is this, cost per purchase, but let's go over to the value is a nice one to look at. We're looking at 7K, 10K or 13K. So that's quite a significant difference. So if you're trying to judge your profitability based on this and you're only looking at the 10K figure, well then okay, that's a bit questionable. The other important thing to highlight here is a lot of the value here is from the view, the 1-day view. So someone sees an advert but they don't click on it, and then they go and make a purchase. So these ones you do need to be careful on, because if it's very heavily views, maybe you're getting in front of people but they're not clicking on the advert, but maybe they're already engaging with you in other ways. And so this is where Facebook is maybe over exaggerating what revenue it's producing for you. So this is really helpful, seeing this split up for lots of different reasons. We want to be judging that the 28-day click, I think, has got weight behind it, but maybe the one-day view has got too much weight behind it, and so we need to pull that back a little bit. So proportionally looking at what this really looks like in your attributions is great. Here's another example from another client of ours. They're a little bit smaller, but I think this is just as interesting. You can see they're much closer. So maybe this is actually what you're going to see, but in this one in particular, 26, 33, 34. So it seems to be more the top of funnel that has a bigger gap between it in most cases when we've been looking at other clients. But yeah, I'd really recommend looking into this. It can make a massive difference to your decision making on which campaigns are working and which aren't working, especially if you have a long sales cycle. So dig on in. I'd love to hear what your experience is with this, and also, do you even have it? Please leave a comment if you don't have this in your interface yet. I'd love to know kind of roughly what percentage of people do or don't have this feature yet, and what it shows you. What are you seeing within your attribution settings? Let me know. I hope this has been of use, and otherwise please do subscribe, because I do these every single week, and then I get to see you in the next one.